For the first time since about 2010, the town of James Island is going to have a new mayor. Current Mayor Bill Woolsey has decided not to run for re-election, giving three candidates an opportunity to take a shot at that spot. Joining us now is one of those candidates, Josh Stokes. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Raphael.
Now, you're not new to politics. You've served on James Island Council for a while. Why are you throwing your hat into the ring now for mayor?
I did serve on town council from 2014 to 2019. I really enjoyed those years on council. It gave me the opportunity to serve the constituents and the residents of James Island and try and find a way to help people. I've missed doing that since 19. I was elected a year ago to serve on the board for James Island Charter High School, and that really reignited that public service mentality that I've had throughout my life. So I'd like to find a way to help the people of James Island and to move James Island as a town forward.
That being said, what unique skills or disposition do you have to take James Island to the next level?
So I'm an attorney in my regular professional life on a day-to-day basis. I think the skills that I've developed as far as negotiation and attempting to find resolutions for difficult situations certainly are at play for something like working with town council, working with other municipalities, and trying to find resolutions to tough problems. I believe I can bring that to the town of James Island and help it move forward, like I said.
All right, so you've been there, you've seen what's happening on the island. What do you think are the biggest issues that are facing James Islanders right now?
James Island has issues that are going to continue to be issues throughout its lifetime. Drainage is not something that's ever going to be fixed on James Island. It's a low-lying island, and we have to be aggressive about how we address that and addressing it on a daily basis. Development is always going to continue to be an issue. They're not making more land, but people are trying to build more on that land that we have. So we want to try and protect and preserve James Island. We want to try and make sure that it's a place where people can enjoy James Island and experience. I want my children to experience the James Island that I get to enjoy. I want them to be able to have the opportunity to live there. I want future generations to be able to live there.
So for those who are watching at home living on James Island, they're questioning who they should pull the lever for, who they should cast their ballot for. What separates you from the other candidates who are running?
I think my experience on town council speaks for itself. I'm the only candidate that's running that has an actual public record of voting on the issues that we're talking about. Voting on things like protecting the environment, voting on things like creating additional parks on James Island. I helped create Pinckney Park that's on Fort Johnson Road. Voting on maintaining the infrastructure that we have and doing things to improve that infrastructure beyond what it already is. I've done all of those things, and I've shown the community that those are the things I want to focus on.
Now, this is supposed to be a nonpartisan race, but if we look at politics, that we find many different things to divide ourselves over. How do you get past that division that exists?
And that's, I mentioned this, we've had a couple of forums up to this point in time for the town, for the mayoral candidates and the town council candidates. And one of the things I said in those forums rings true for me, which is we can disagree without being divisive. I feel if you talk to somebody and explain your position to them and listen to them and truly listen and hear their position, that whether you agree at the end of that, both parties feel better for having taken that time and feeling like their voice is actually heard. We can do that. We can work towards a consensus. We don't have to agree on everything, and we're not going to agree on everything. But if we can work towards a consensus, then that's the best thing we can hope for.
All right. His name is Josh Stokes. He's running for mayor of James Island. We'll be back right after this.